So today we're going to look at counting, adding, subtracting, and multiplying in base 8. So first we're going to look at how we count in base 8. So when I say the number 8, that's how many numbers are in the first line. But we can't use the numbers 8 or 9. We can use 10 because it represents the 0. So we're going to start counting. We're going to start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. And we're going to continue this pattern until we get to the number 77. And that's where we jump to 100 because we can no longer use 8 or 9 when we're counting in base 8. So this number chart we have to keep in mind whenever we start adding, multiplying, subtracting, dividing, because we have to remember that we can't use the numbers 8 or 9, therefore we have to jump numbers like 7 to 10 or 37 to 40. So we're going to start with an addition problem. So right here I have 57 in base 8 plus 45 in base 8. So just like addition, we're going to start in the ones place. So here we have 7 plus 5. So we're going to start at 7 on our number line. We're going to add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets us 14. So we're going to put our 4 down here and carry our 1. Now we have 5 plus 4. So we're going to start at 5 and add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 11. But then we have to look up here. Because we added 1 up here, we have to add 1. That gives us 12. So our answer to this math problem, when we counted and added in base 8, is 124 in base 8. Now we're going to look at a subtraction problem. We still have to keep in mind that we can't use the number 8 and we can't use the number 9. So when we subtract, we're going to start in our ones place. Well, we know that we can't subtract 2 from 5 and get a whole number. So we have to borrow. So we're going to borrow from our 3, that makes it a 2. And then we're going to make our 2 a 12. So we have 12 minus 5. So we're going to start at our number 12 up here, and we're going to subtract 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it gives us the number 5. Then we're going to go to our tens place. Well, we can't subtract 2 from 7 because 2 is smaller than 7. So we have to borrow again. So we're going to take 1 from our 4 and make it a 3. And we're going to add 1 to our 2 to make it a 12. So now we're going to start at 12 and work our way backwards 7. So 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get 3. And then we have to go to our hundreds place, and we have 3 minus 2 gives us 1. So the answer to this problem is 135 in base 8. Now to get a little more complicated, we're going to do some multiplication using base 8 counting. So we're going to look at our ones place, the 7, and we're going to multiply 7 and 14. 7 and 2. And that gives us 14. So if we look at this number line right here, 14 is not included in our octal counting. So we're going to go over here and write 14. And then we're going to see how many times 8, because we're counting in 8, goes into 14. Well, that's 1 time. And then we're going to have 4 left over. I'm sorry, we're going to have 6 left over. And so that makes it 16. So the 6 is going to go at the bottom, and we're going to carry our 1. So we're going to put our 6 here, carry our 1. Then we're going to look at 7 times 5. That gives us 35 plus 1 is 36. Well, 36 isn't included in our octal counting right here. So we're going to do 36 and see how many times 8 goes into 36. Well, it goes into it 4 times to give us 32, and then we're going to have a remainder of 4. So our 4 is going to go at the bottom, and we're going to carry our 4. Oh, so we're going to put 44 here at the bottom. So that gives us 446. So then we're going to put a 0 in our ones place because we're going to use the 2 now. The 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. Well, 6 is included up here, so we can put our 6 down. And then we have 5 times 3, which is 15. Well, 15 isn't included in our octal counting, so we're going to put a 15 here, and we're going to see how many times 8 goes into 15. Well, evenly it goes in once, and then we're going to have a remainder of 7. So we're going to put 17 over here. Now we have to add these two numbers that we multiplied up. So 6 plus 0 is 6. That's in our octal counting, so we can use 6. Then we have 6 plus 4, which equals 10. Well, 10 isn't included up here. So we're going to do this method again, and we're going to put the 10 down here. 8. So 8 goes into 10 once with a remainder of 2. So that gives us 12. Carry our 1. Now we have 7 plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we have 1 up here where we carried, so 12. So 12 is not listed up here, so we're going to put the 12 over here, see how many times 8 goes into it. Well, it can go in there once, and we'll have a remainder of 4. So we're going to put our 4 down here, carry our 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's included in our octal counting. So here's our answer, 2,426 in base 8. When you do these problems, you have to remember that you can't use the numbers 8 or 9. Making a chart like this while you do multiplication, addition, or subtraction will really help you remember what numbers you can use and what you can't use, and you might have to use this method in multiplication to convert them. So you just learned how to count in base 8. The key things to remember are you start at 1, you stop at 7, and then we start over using 0, so we'll move to 10. We'll do these numbers to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We get to 77 and we jump to 100. So just remember, in base 8, we can't use the numbers 8 or 9.